We are closing in the August primary, and one seat will likely be decided by the election in a couple of weeks.
New at 6, Amy Reed is live to introduce us to the 7 candidates in this particular race. Amy?
Yes, 7 candidates trying to take over for Senator Fred Risser, all Democrats with no challenger this November. I spoke with most of them today, and here's a bit of our conversation.
I think these are chaotic times, and I think you're looking for a stability candidate.
We want people who know what the job is. It actually is pretty hard to make progressive policy into law when Republicans have gerrymandered our state beyond recognition. But that's something that I've been able to do again and again throughout my career.
I saw many communities in the city that were not reached out to, that were not asked, how you're doing or what can we do to help you.
We have racial disparities in the city that, when exposed, I know that our community would not stand for.
So I support justice in policing. I mean, I support what the governor proposed. There's, the banning the chokeholds and no-knock searches and all the things that are there. I'd like to see a little bit more there on racial profiling, prohibiting that. I'd like to see a requirement for police to have body cameras.
So instead of putting all this pressure on our police force, what we need to be doing is sort of taking the pressure away so they can focus on keeping our community safe in the very specific way that they know how to, and letting social workers keep the community safe in the way that they know how to, and letting educators have access to the things that they know how to do to make children feel safe.
Economic security, or what I call economic dignity, it starts there and then it flows out from there. So we have that. Then we have social justice issues. Then we have healthcare issues. Then we have education issues. Then we have all the other environmental issues.
And I've been someone, that's not going to give up my principles. I'm going to be very progressive. We are talking about the Green New Deal here.
We really have to follow the medical science. That's the #1 practical way of getting out of COVID-19. It's not through government policies. It's not through anything other than following the visceral practical science that's been laid out.
Unfortunately, the Wisconsin GOP's failure to take the pandemic seriously is devastating our state. I think that a matter of public health and science has turned into a political debate.
There are a lot of federal dollars that we could be taking advantage of that we're just leaving sitting there on the table. Likewise, we are spending way too much money on prisons and mass incarceration.
But how do we get away from the political, spectrum? The tug of war is we have conversation. It's going to be done in conversation, and it's going to be listening, and it's going to be listening to people that we don't agree with.
People from different diverse backgrounds, whether we're talking about political ideology or whether we're just talking about the visceral reality of diversity, that when people get together and they look for commonalities that bind them together.
One candidate that I did not get a chance to speak to was William Davis III. He did not get back to us, but those were just some small snippets of our conversations today, and we're going to put the full interviews on our website, channel3000.com, and those are worth checking out.
Great resource. August 11th at primary coming up just a couple weeks. Amy Reed live downtown. Amy, thank you.